Alright, so I'm going to keep this DC comic ramble a bit shorter than the normal ones because this one I don't know too much about, despite the fact that as of right now I am about 5 issues in on this comic. 6 if you count number 0, which I was lucky enough to find at my local comic shop. So, Codename Knockout, from what I understand, is another standalone DC title that was done under the DC Vertigo line, which, as you all know, Vertigo is for those titles that were more adult compared to the mainstream DC comics of the time. So Codename Knockout revolves around the female heroine named Angela St. Grace and her exploits as a super spy. Now the funny thing is that we learn about her is that both of her parents are leaders of different organizations. For instance, her mother, and I wish I was kidding with this, is apparently the leader of the secret spy organization known as Good, whilst her father is apparently the leader of their polar opposite, the organization known as Evil. I wish I was kidding with those names. So, in all honesty, I feel like this is mostly just a spoof of super spy films, and to be honest, it does work. Okay? It does have its funny moments, I will not lie to you there, but most of the time it just feels like I'm just passively reading it and just not really having that much interest in it. It looks okay. It's mostly just something if you want to read like a dumb, fun spoof of super spy films. All in all, though, what is funny is the dynamic between her and her partner. Her partner being named Gogo, who is apparently the stereotypical gay man. Like, just super over the top and just like. He's definitely the funniest part, I will say this right now. Because there are moments where he's just like so stereotypically gay of a character that it's honestly funny to read. Especially if you don't take this comic too seriously. Honestly, this comic is mostly just what I would recommend if you're looking for something fun or just plain stupid to read. But I will say this, the art style is very well done. If judging by the cover art, how it's done, the internal art, though, is very well done. Very nice, very clean. It does have its nice action moments as well as its few adult moments, as shown if you read this comic. Honestly, I would say pick this one up if you want a standalone DC comic line that isn't really talked about all that much. Apparently, this one only ran for like 23 issues total. 24 if you count number 0. But again, it was a very short-lived comic as far as I'm aware, but it did have a nice run from what I understand. It's very good if you want another standalone story or if you just want something that's more comedic and you don't have to take too seriously. Honestly, though, Angela and Gogo's dynamic as just partners is just funny as hell to me just because of the sheer arguing that they do back and forth. Not to mention the utter amounts of ridiculous stuff that they get into as well. So, but I do like Angela's predicament here, how she essentially has to choose a side between both her mother and her father, both of which want a say in her life, and she's honestly not too happy about that because of the fact that they both lead secret organizations. So in the end, she goes with the lesser of two evils, as she calls it, and sides with Good. So as of number 5, she's officially become a member, and that's as far as I got before I ran out of the comics. I might pick up more just to see where the story goes, but all in all, I feel like it's not going to be something that's going to be on my major to collect list. I feel like it'd just be something if I want to do something fun or stupid. At least that's just my perspective, but I will say this. The writers and draw artists did a fantastic job with this comic, and I say kudos to them for at least making this comic. Okay, and they knew what the heck they were doing. They knew they were making essentially a super spy spoof. But anyways, you guys, like I said, I'm just going to keep this one short because there's not really much I can talk about with this one plot-wise. Plot-wise, it's the same thing. She finds out who her dad is, she learns that he's the leader of an evil organization, teams up with Good because it's the lesser of two evils. But she really does not like the fact that her mother and father keep trying to have their say in her own life. So essentially, she's like the rebellious teenage spy. Anyways, you guys, I would put this like in the middle. Like, it's not a bad comic, but it's definitely not super amazing, if you know what I mean. Like, it's good if you want just a fun time or something stupid to read. Other than that, though, if you're a very serious collector, I would not recommend this unless you're a massive Vertigo collector and you just want this title in your collection just for kicks and giggles. Anyways, you guys, as I said again, I'm going to keep this one short, and let me hear your thoughts on it. If you've heard of this comic, let me know in the comment section down below. And if not, why not go check it out for yourself, if you just want something fun or stupid to read. Anyways, you guys, I hope you all have an awesome day. This is Rambling Collector, signing off. Have an awesome day.